Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or my list and sideboard guides before tournaments, check out Patreon or the YouTube membership program. This channel is made possible by these amazing sponsors. Check out all their links in the video description below. Once again, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I've got some legacy for you, and this is from Patreon subscriber Ray, who gave me a dealer's choice to play whatever I want. And what I want to do is play Mono Red Painter. This is a deck that I've been saying for close to a year now is one of my sleeper favorites. It's just consistently putting up results in the background without getting a ton of glory. A lot of super smart people have been working on it almost exclusively. I know Callum Smith from Everyday Eternal podcast has been doing it. He's got his co-host Julian on the train as well. I think this deck rules, and I just haven't played it on the channel for the entire arc where I said I think it rules. Played some other painter decks. I played it in lands. I've played it in like a weird artifact combo shell with all sorts of artifact combos, but just straight up red painter. Nuts and bolts, baby. I was trying to hang on to this one until the Warhammer 40k cards came to Magic Online, because Chaos Defiler is a huge tool for this deck. And you can see on MTG Goldfish, as soon as you open a list, you know if it's from a paper tournament or not, because it has Chaos Defiler in it. And I record with some lead time, usually 1 to 3 weeks if I'm really crushing it. Maybe Chaos Defiler is legal by the time you see this, and if that's true, I'm sorry. You'll see that soon. I have some other painter further down in my recording queue that I will hold until Chaos Defiler is legal. But right now, here today, I'm playing Mono Red with the cards that we got. This is one of many decks that I've spoken at length about just being supercharged by Urza Saga. It fuels Plan A, it gives you a Plan B. It's just an absolute monster. Hooters up the Grindstone if you need that. It can ramp your mana, it can get Soul Guide Lantern. And if your opponent's wasting removal spells on Painter, you get to kill them with Giant Constructs. If they spend removal spells on Constructs, you kill them with Painter. It just puts them in a squeeze from the jump. All 8 Goblin Welders are in the deck, the 4 Goblin Welders and the 4 Goblin Engineers. Goblin Engineer has some restrictions on what you can weld into play, but it also comes with an Entomb, which is a powerful effect in your artifact combo deck that uses the graveyard. Phyrexian Dragon Engine is a pretty new tool. Oh, I wish I could just open Phyrexian Dragon Engine. All this other crap doesn't matter. Anyway, it is also the back half of Mishra Claims by Gix, but we're not going to talk about that. It is just a 3-mana 2/2 double strike. If it entered the battle from your graveyard, you can discard your hand, draw 3 cards. We just talked about Goblin Welder and Goblin Engineer, flipping it in and out of your graveyard, drawing all sorts of cards, while being a pretty reasonable beater. Freya's Apprentice is our stand-in for Chaos Defiler. This is a value monster that you can get out of the graveyard. Enters the battlefield, makes a 1/1 Thopter. Then you can tap it, sack an artifact to either flip your top card off your deck, and you can play it this turn, or pump a creature. The fact that it spots you a bonus artifact on the way in, it can of course sack to tap its own, or tap to sack its own Thopter, or you can use that Thopter to do stuff with Welders and Engineers, or you can weld the Apprentice back and forth, just making a bunch of Thopters. Fable of the Mirror Breaker, a huge upgrade for this deck, also a recent printing. Gives you a ton of selection and another way to win the game. And Big Ol' Fury. Got 4 of these across the 75. That makes perfect sense. This is a messed up red card, and we're in a high power format where free spells are paramount. And then at the core of this deck, 7 main deck red elemental blast effects. When you're paired into blue, which a large percentage of the legacy format is, it's just the 1-mana split counterspell Vindicate card. And when you're not against blue, you can paint things blue and then start killing them and countering them. Makes it real easy to shove a combo through counter magic. Picks off Murktide Regent and Delver with ease. And then with a little work, you can do some more. This deck is both hyper-focused and full of tools to do other things. It's just in a really fascinating spot where you can rip off a win very quickly with protection at the combo half of your deck, or you can settle into a grind with Apprentice or Fable or whatever. And I love a deck that can do both of those things. The sideboard is, of course, just 11 cards for combo, and then 1 extra Fury for creature matchups and 3 Mags of the Moon when you need to shut down greedy mana bases. And that's the deck. Let's do it. I'm on the play in round 1, and I unfortunately have to mulligan this beautiful full house that I have here. Not a mana source among it, but a very cool looking hand. Okay. This one makes 3 mana reliably. I am going to keep it. And now deck familiarity matters. I think I send a Pyroblast to the bottom. I want the Lotus Petal laying around as something I can do with Goblin Engineer. And I'm just going to land go here. Something like Fable off the top would be pretty exciting, but I have the Engineer with Pyroblast backup, Red Blast backup, excuse me. Mostly the same. I will use them interchangeably throughout the league. Get used to it. And now I drew another land so I don't have to expose my City of Traders. Just get gobbling. We're in there. I think in this spot I just want Dragon Engine. I'm not really at either part of the combo. And Dragon Engine, if they kill my Goblin, I can unearth next turn. Get myself set up here. Sure looks like a Lightning Bolt to me. There it is. And this is starting to look like Delver. Land go. What I draw will inform what I want to do with my life here. I'd love to draw a Fable. That would be sick. Another Mountain. So I can hold up. Because if I just City of Traders, unearth Phyrexian Dragon Engine right now, I just attack for 4, and I discard 2 to draw 2, and my City of Traders has to be played. If I wait a turn, get some value off this Red Blast or Lightning Bolt. Okay, this is now starting to look like some kind of rug mid-range stuff. Soul Guide Lantern, cool. I like that card. City of Traders, Soul Guide Lantern. Anytime I see green and blue in the same deck, suspect Uro. Soul Guide Lantern also is really good against Dragon's Rage Channeler and Murktide Regen and all that crap. I think I'm going to continue to chill for one more turn. Might get Wastelanded here. This is the first opportunity to do that. That would take me off Dragon Engine. It's not a Wasteland. I'm concerned about how big and fluffy this deck's mana base is. I'm going to fire off a Bolt in the end step. I'll just telegraph that I'm going for Dragon Engine. I'd like to at least use that card before I discard it for no real gain. Urza Saga is in. 2 mana floated off the city, of course. 3, 4, 5. Unearth my dragon. They stifle it, I will Red Blast. Will I Red Blast? Because that's a stifle out of their hand. That, and the Dragon Engine, exiling it is conditional on the unearth actually happening. Okay. Didn't end up mattering. Would like to use this ability. My hand is largely the same after the dragon arrives. Unfortunately, because it's unearthed, it is going to disappear, and I don't have a way to do anything fun with that right now. But I did produce an Urza Saga here. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out what my opponent's deck is that parts around this heart, but also has Lightning Bolt in it. Brainstorm. Is this bait? I don't think I care if it is. I'm gonna Pyroblast here. Because they just haven't done anything. We're so late in the game right now. They haven't done a single thing. Minor misstep. Okay, sure. You got a Brainstorm. Wasteland would harsh my buzz right now. Most other things are cool though. For a rug deck with mental or minor misstep in it. Minor misstep and Lightning Bolt. I mean, this does feel like some sort of Delver adjacent strategy. Okay, they found the Wasteland. Disappointing. Now I gotta find some other action. Rug control doing its job over there. I mean, we're at the point where I cast this thing. It's not sexy, but it works. We're also at the point where Murktide Regent becomes a thing I have to consider on this Soul Guide Lantern. Like, if they just right now go land Murktide, they have a 5/5 to my 2/2. I think I'm gonna let them go ahead and make a move if Murktide is the move. Because then I can draw a card with Soul Guide and try to get something going. Yeah, that is what they had. I still have 5 Pyroblasts in my deck. I'm going to draw a card with Soulguide Lantern. Now the pressure's off. Oh, they have Stifle. Okay. Rug, Stifle cards. Got it. Interservant. Hello. Do I want to keep this hand for reasons that are unclear to me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 mana, and Painter from nothing is a 6 mana combo. I could just drop the Painter. That is at least an attacker on the board. I'm not going to name blue because their cards I care about are already blue, and it turns their Force of Wills into gas. Alright, I'll just cast Painter. I think I paint everything red so Fury can pitch this Ancient Tomb. At this point I would hardcast Fury. But I am going to paint things red. Lotus Petal, never been so handsome. Good chance Painter just dies. And it doesn't matter what I name here. Burned. I have been pretty effectively deconstructed after a strong start here in this game. 3 cards left in their hand. They're jamming a fetch land right now. Second Murktide would be rough because that one would be 5/5 and it would make the first one 7/7. And the race is on. Skamboo is also annoying, but I think this is Murktide. Yuck. Yeah, I think we're about done here. Technically at 1 on board. If I can thread the needle. Is there an out from Basic Mountain? Yes, I'll be at 1 on my next turn, and then there's no cards left in my deck that draw 2 cards. Okay. Yeah, the old cast no spells until Murktide Region strategy paid off well there. I'm not roasting them. That it genuinely worked. That was sick. Okay, Thorn of Amethyst can slow down cantrip decks like this. I don't think that's where I want to be, though, because it also slows down my Pyroblast and stuff. I think Needle on Wasteland seems like it's worth having. Fury is a chonker that can win the game and also keep me alive. Spirit Guide seems like a higher velocity thing that I really want for this matchup. And being able to Spirit Guide Pyroblast against blue decks is insanely powerful. I gotta make cuts somewhere. Yeah, maybe the 4th Fury just doesn't come in and I cut 1 Spirit Guide. I'll do it like that, just keep it light. 1 land, but I have Soulguide Lantern, a bunch of Lightning Bolts, and I have 2 of my payoff card. I'm going to try this. Goblin Welder is the kind of thing that demands interaction because you will lose to it. We'll see what they want to do about it. I'll try to control the pace of this game with my 1 land for a while. Tropical Island, not well known for killing Goblin Welders. Delver's Secrets, okay. My hand is nothing but ways to kill that. How about a mountain off the top? Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna Lightning Bolt this Delver and just attack. And missing this land drop hurts, and I knew this was a possibility when I kept the hand, but every card that I have costs 1. And 4 of them are meaningful interaction, and 2 of them are... I guess 5 of them are meaningful interaction with Soulguide Lantern, and then the other 2 are Goblin Welder, which can steal the game out of nowhere. So as far as 1-landers go, this one plays the game. Are we both doing this? They kept a 1-lander with Brainstorm and Delver and didn't get there, and I just did. Okay. Hello there. Okay. I'm going to play this Soulguide Lantern, exile Brainstorm, as that one feels Murktide Regent. And I'm going to play my other Goblin Welder. And I'm just going to draw a card off Soulguide right now. I'm not going to hold up Graveyard Hate when I'm already kind of failing to function. And my next artifact starts looping that. City Trader is a good find. I get to keep playing even if they have Wasteland, which I think they would have put into play if they had. So they'd need a Ponder or another Brainstorm here to mix it up. Yeah, Ponder is about as good as it gets here. Did not shuffle, and they found a volcanic island. Okay. All right. I am set on Pyroblast. An artifact would have been nice, but I did not find one. I'm not going to play the City of Traders. It just doesn't cast any of my spells. It also makes me look weaker to Wasteland than I actually am. But them having red now, they could start picking off Welders left and right. We know their hand is all spells because they missed a land drop and then pondered and didn't shuffle. Okay. We're in business. I can cast 2 spells now. None of them counter Lightning Bolt. Yep, that's the end of my welders. The old double welder start that attacked for 5, and that was all they did. Exactly what we registered this deck for. Oh no, don't cast Tarmogoyf. I'm so not ready for this. Jeez, this card's unbeatable. 4/5 that I can't counter or bolt meaningfully. Inner Servant off the top. Ugh. Well, folks, welcome to 2011. And we're pretty far from dead. This thing has to get through a bunch of times, and we have a lot of good draws in the deck and tons of interaction. But still, considering what this deck's capable of presenting, I had Minsk and Boo covered, Delver, Murktide, etc. Pyroblast Delver, not Red Blast it. In case they have Surgical, I don't want to lose the second copy of the card in my hand. I'm a bit of a graveyard deck, so Surgical's not even completely preposterous to imagine. I will use City of Traders to cast Simian Spirit Guide here. Spirit Guide plus Bolt. This does not kill Tarmogoyf because there's no lands in the graveyard somehow. Yeah, this can be 5/6 at will. Bummer. Almost got him. I'm just going to take my 4 or 5 here and leave my Spirit Guide. Goblin Engineer. Okay, that's a magic card with text on it. Engineer Trigger. I would like to use the ability. I think I want Breya's Apprentice here. I still have nothing to sacrifice, though. Do you just always get Dragon Engine? Apprentice buys a lot of time and gets the engine online immediately. Okay, I'll get her. Him? Unclear. There is no actual physical body here. It's a robot. Okay. Gonna attack for 2. Now, I guess it's time to block. Simian Spirit Guide has done its job. I can't take 5 twice on this board. I'm gonna blast this Brainstorm. I just have a lot of these, and they are ahead right now. Block with my Spirit Guide. Done your job admirably. See you never. Okay, deck. I would like my Goblin Engineer to be alive and to draw an artifact. No chance. They do only play 4 of those. And that's 3. Another Engineer. Okay. This one might have to get Dragon Engine. And getting Dragon Engine, if I unearth that, costs me my Red Blast and my Bolt, and doesn't really do anything to move the game forward. Not having a single artifact in play at any point in this game has been a giant beating. Maybe I just float a Painter down there and give myself some spike potential. Yeah, I think that is where I have to be at this point. Because if I draw a Grindstone, I can play it, activate it, then weld it into Painter in response to its activation, and that is presents a kill at least. I imagine there are 6 hyper-efficient interactive spells. Could probably figure out how to stop it, but I'm going to try not to do that. No block. They still didn't fetch. This Tarmogoyf's had a number of attacks get through. I could be at 3 right now and dead to Bolt. This doesn't matter, though. My artifact deck continues to produce 0 artifacts. And I played Ancient Tomb for no reason. That kills my City of Traders. And I have to block this turn if I even survive. Yeah, we're just dead here. That was pretty unfortunate. 19 cards into my deck, and only one of them was an artifact. 4 welders entered the game. One of them even stuck around for a while, and then that was it. Okay. Mulligan lessons probably here. I did keep that 1 lander, but the 1 land nature of it was not the problem. The fact that I didn't have an artifact ever was the problem. Like, I ended this game with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana available, and 2 interactive spells still in my hand. Yep. That's how it is sometimes. You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7 Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7 Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7 Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7 Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better. On the draw in round 2, and we were just talking about mulligans at the end of round 1. This hand, once again, is interactive with Red Blast and Lightning Bolt. I have half my combo. I even have the Spirit Guide Red Blast blowout line. Gonna keep this kind of on spec, but a lot of things in the deck make it good. Maybe you just can't do that, but doing it. Okay, some sort of artifact mirror where they have Saga and I don't. I guess I just Mountain Go here. If this is 8 cast and they chalice me here, that's a bummer. The Ancient Tomb was more likely. Just something to accelerate the Saga. I can kill their Saga with Painter and Red Blast it. Mountain, Opal, Petal, Painter. Painter, and I paint things blue. Okay, that turned on my Opal. And I think I actually blast the Ancient Tomb, not the Saga. It gives them a search, but either way, they don't get 2 constructs, and they also have no mana. Red blasting Ancient Tomb. Hope this works. Cool. You get a 1/1. That will become a 2/2, but I can lightning bolt this at my leisure. And then you have no lands. Let's play this game. Is it a mirror match? Are you 8 cast? What's going on? It's a mirror match, and I just put Grindstone in play for them. All right, so I have to bolt my own Painter. I hate my life right now. Well, I'm losing sources here anyway. Literally have to just be alive. I did mill my Dragon Engine. Okay, the Painter mirror, and you can't just jam Painter. Lesson learned. I could... Oh, no. Opal doesn't work. I think I have to get on board with the Spirit Guide. I am now 3 for 3 on casting this and 0 for 3 on using it for mana. How does my opponent sell 6 cards in their hand? How did we get here? What is happening? I feel like we were playing a close interactive game, and now suddenly I have no cards in my hand to their 5. How did we get here? Goblin Welder is a heater. They have the first one, though. They can weld my Painter back into play from my Mox Opal and then try to Grindstone me. I get to name the color, though, which turns on my Pyroblast, but then they can Pyroblast my Pyroblast if I name blue. Fury, come on! Life is pain. They're doing so much better than me with all the same cards in their deck, but they have real ones in play. Yeah, these are dead. That's how that works. Do you have your own Painter as well? Cool. We don't even need to do the Welder trick. Yeah, I'm good. We're done. That was an absolute shit show. Obliterated in the mirror. Okay, the number of Red Blasts, if we simply don't name blue, these are blank. But if I get ahead and name blue, that's good. But if they're ahead and name blue, and Pithing Needle is like mutually assured destruction, but it probably still works. And do I want Macabres to mess with their graveyard? Is Surgical better than Macabre? Okay, so if I board out 5 of my Red Blast, keep 1 of each, just in case things happen to get painted blue. I have Graveyard Hate, I have Board Interaction, and I have Pithing Needle, which can mess with us. I'm not in love with this plan, but I guess it works. Okay, I'm gonna keep this, and I get to do what my opponent did last game, which is present a mean old Urza Saga. I could cast this Pithing Needle, but what do I even name? Just blind name Goblin Welder when I have Graveyard Hate? I don't think so. I'll wait until they have some game object that I don't. Okay, so I can crank out 2 tokens and then name Saga on the back end. They led on this Soul Guide Lantern, which means my Goblin Engineer is not as good as I wanted it to be. Mox Opal. Great Furnace. Okay. They are now using their Urza Saga. Saga activation. I probably just get Mox Opal here. Saga activation. Or no, I grab a Grindstone. That's the way to do this. Invest in success. Yeah, I got plenty of mana. And I have plenty of Graveyard Hate. I am going to get Grindstone. And Mountain, Pithing Needle. Needle's kind of fun, because if they Saga in response, I can name Soul Guide Lantern. Their construct is bigger than mine, whether I like it or not. I am holding Goblin Engineer. Does that matter? They get a second construct. My life is pain. If I draw a second Saga, all right, I'm going to name Saga. I'm ahead on the Saga game. I just hope this holds up, I guess. They can tutor, I can double block. I had one freebie attack there, but then I can't block, and I want to just stabilize first and foremost. You have Pithing Needle, so are we grindstoning now? Nice. Okay, nobody can grindstone, nobody can Saga. We're just in a full crap fight. They can hardcast Fury here, which is an absolute beating. They get the first shot at that. That was kind of my plan for next turn, and I'm one artifact short of this being just a 3/3. Now their 5/5 can attack. Ugh. Yeah, I've just been behind in this mirror at all spots. On Simian Spirit Guide. Okay, I can pitch my Fury to kill their Fury. Don't even really want to do that though. Surgicaling Urza Saga. Those are already turned off, but have a look. I play this mountain. I could force a, like, here's the thing. If I Goblin Engineer and tutor something scary to the graveyard, they have to use their Soul Guide Lantern, which will shrink their construct. But then I have to pitch Fury to Fury, where my next mana source of any kind delivers the Fury. I could surgical them, see what they're cooking with, and then make a decision from there. I guess they've seen I have 2 surgicals. Nobody's really coming through the graveyard here. I'm going to surgical their Urza Saga as well. Feels bad, but here we go. City of Traders, Simian Spirit Guide is their hand. Their deck is the same as mine, but they have a Sokenzan. That's pretty cool. I don't have that. 4 lightning bolts. I'm looking for Furies now. Oh, they only have 1. Taking these Sagas. And I guess I will commit the Fury, even though I don't like it. I can Goblin Engineer. I want to tutor up something scary enough that they have to Soul Guide, but not the best card in my deck. Apprentice would do it. Apprentice is also a sick draw off the top. I think Apprentice is a better draw than Dragon Engine. If I were to just have one of each, I'll put Dragon Engine in the graveyard. And I'm not going to block this turn, so I might as well attack. Just going to go to 4. Playing with fire here. There's the mountain. There's the Spirit Guide. Now I can't attack anymore. That was not a good card. I can't even use the one I have. Could not unearth this dragon if I wanted to. I suppose I will simply pass the turn and wait for death. The blocks are Construct on Spirit Guide, Engineer on Construct. Okay, they're just not... Okay, so I can double block here and actually get a kill. Because I'll go to Weld, and they'll Soul Guide Lantern in a response. Then I'll have a 4/4 versus my 3/3 and 1/2, and I'll be left with Construct at the end of this. I just have to play like their hand is nothing. If they have Lightning Bolt, they win. Nothing to be done about that. Putting Engineer in front is smart. Dragon Engine and Pithing Needle. Pithing Needle. Oh, wait. I thought I got twisted up with what's its face? Welder. Like the ability has to resolve before the thing switch, so I don't actually beat this thing in combat. I just lose everything. Oh my god. Why did this happen? What do they think they're playing around? Oh my god. Okay, Phyrexian Dragon Engine is in play for unknown and unknowable reasons. Okay. Weird. And they get to kill both my creatures, but that was worth it. I fucked up, and then they were like, that's cool. You have your own Engineer. Okay. And I just discarded my Surgical that they knew I had. And you have your own Dragon Engine. Cool. And they can just unearth that baddie to attack. And that's lethals. I'd love to draw a land that doesn't kill me. That one works. Okay, I can put Fable of the Mirror Breaker into play. This gives me a blocker. If I play Painter's Servant, what happens here? It is a 1/3, but I'm at 2 life. I can put my 2/2 here, 2/2 here, or 1-3 here, 2-2. I think playing this game from 2 life with Painter in play is more likely to be effective than 4 life without it in play. I'm just going to name white. Do not have any attacks here. Lotus Petal makes Construct bigger. You have a Painter. Okay. You don't have a Grindstone. Needle is on Grindstone, but they can weld their Needle away. And if they spike Grindstone, they have plenty of mana to play and activate it. Okay, they're just deleting their Painter to draw 3 cards. They know they have me beat on board. They're not trying to spike Miracle Grindstone right now. Because if they miss, I just win on my turn. That's the right call. Do I have any Shatters in my deck? I really don't. Getting through that Grindstone... Oh, you drew Fury? I guess that's fair. You did draw a lot of cards. Okay, so I have to... Chump Block doesn't even work. I am just deceased. Yeah, we got completely dismantled in this mirror match. I don't know if my opponent mulliganed better or just drew better down the stretch, because this game did reach a point where we were both kind of going back and forth, and it could go either way, but they just had like the one artifact land that I didn't to make their construct out of Fury range, where my construct did die to Fury. They had Soul Guide Lantern against my graveyard hand, where I had 3 pieces of graveyard hate against their non-graveyard hand. Am I just supposed to leave in all my Red Blast so Painter can interact? That felt like completely non-interactive on my end. Like we were just kind of both hurling crap at the wall. We both had Pithing Needles that we made decisions on. I'm trying to glean a lesson from this, because I do think this deck is good, and I want to think about what actually went wrong here. Yeah, I think they were just bigger than me on their constructs and cast more Furies, and that's really the lesson I'm learning here. And we could have known those were important going in. Let's play another one. The Command Tower software by Eminence Gaming is perfect for hosting Commander events. It features easy-to-create event registration for 4-player Swiss-structured tournaments. Event management has never been so simple, and it's web-based, so there's no downloads required. You can get access for just $5 at eminence.events/subscribe. On the play in round 3 against Whoop Orc, whose deck I featured on the channel a little while ago. I believe they made the Shorakai Staff of the Storyteller deck. Gonna keep the pants off of this hand. I can accelerate Urza Saga, and I have Welder Pyroblast business going on. I'm just gonna lead on the Saga and do that first. They are not playing Staff of the Storyteller Shorakai control. Oh no, not like this. Why would you do this to me, Whoop Orc? Thought we were friends. I featured your deck on my channel. Get wrecked, me. So what do I have to do now? I have to hope that their turn 2 loses to Red Blast. The scariest part of this is just from a 7-card hand. Just Land Dark Ritual Doomsday, which means the 5 other cards they kept in their hand are still in play here. Pyroblast might be able to buy me a turn. Counter a Brainstorm or something. A Deep Analysis, perhaps. Bad news, though. Take a look at what's in exile. There are all 4 forces in exile. Only 1 Daze is here. They appear to be a super turbo version with a bunch of Duress as personal tutors. I know Mextortion trophied with this recently. Back on the train. Okay. That's interesting. Not helpful right now, but if I tutor Grindstone next turn, I don't think... So if I play Painter, I think I just need this Red Blast in the mix somewhere. And I tutor Grindstone, hope that countering their cantrip slowed them down enough to do something. It's weird. I kind of want to let Consider resolve, which the whole plan was to counter a cantrip, but like Consider feeds Deep Analysis lines. They milled a Thassa's Oracle. Unearth Thassa's Oracle. That's fucking cool. Okay. I was not ready for that. I should have countered the Consider. Goodbye, me. I guess I could have still blasted the Oracle, because there were 2 cards in the deck. Whoops. I'm just going to take a deep breath and tighten up here. Okay, so if I had Pyroblasted the Oracle, they would have needed to draw 2 cards, or cast another consider in response, unless their hand had a second unearth. And then I can tutor Grindstone and grind them on my turn and just get rid of their last 2 cards. So I definitely did not understand my outs there. I'm definitely bringing in Thorn of Amethyst. Magus of the Moon is a contender. Doomsday is a really mana-hungry deck. It's basically a mono-blue deck that's splashing for a black spell, and that is an exploitable aspect of it. Fury is not for this matchup. Lightning Bolt is not really for this matchup. They did just take a really aggressive graveyard line to get Oracle into play where Fairy Macabre could be relevant. But I cut my Soul Guide Lantern. Do I cut off the tutorable, reusable Graveyard Hate into a one-shot that needs to be in my hand to work? I'm gonna submit it as it is with the Thorns and the Magi in. Okay, I'm gonna keep this. It doesn't turn 1 the Thorn, which is what I would have preferred. I do have Pyroblast to interact. I have turn 2 Thorn. If they go for a personal tutor, I can Pyroblast that. If they daze it, then the shields are down for Thorn, and they're down a land. Unearth is some technology. I think I Pyroblast literally anything that I can here. Well, I can Pyroblast anything. I Pyroblast any blue spell. Okay, we're just doing this again. Cool. Dark Ritual Doomsday. I know this is a turbo build of the deck, but you don't need to have these 2 cards in every opening hand. Personal tutor, you can take that route. It would have been okay. I think Thorn will mess this up more than Pyroblast will. Thorn plays into Daze. I guess we'll take stock of the Exile. We only saw 1 Daze in Exile last game, but that probably means there was 1 in the hand. Simian Spirit Guide or Lotus Petal are my best draws because they protect me from Daze or Force of Will because they can let me cast Pyroblast or just pay 1. Taking stock here, we've got 1, 2... only 3 forces in the mix. Great. So whatever this is, they have Force of Will backup for. I need the Simian Spirit Guide or the Lotus Petal, please. Goblin Welder is not it. Alright, I'm going to cast Thorn of Amethyst. It'll get countered and then I'm dead. The other opportunity is that the force is in the pile. They could just cycle, land drop Oracle. Oh, okay. We're pivoting on to Shelldock. Don't know if that's good for me or if they're all just bad. I think everything's bad for me is the answer. There is no light at the end of this tunnel. I'm going to play Goblin Welder and just pretend I'm not dead to Emrakul here. Hitting Needle not accessible to me at this time. And this is a creature. Yep. I don't have any outs from 0 permanents to this. Okay. I definitely messed up game 1, did not play to my outs. We don't know if it would have worked if they had a second rebuild or if I even had a game plan after, or I had the Grindstone, so I did have 1 big shot. And I mean, that's why you play a deck like Doomsday. You give your opponent 1 extremely important spot to mess up, and if they do, they're dead. And reorienting the ways that in which you fight Doomsday with non-blue decks is... this is not my wheelhouse, and I definitely take full credit for that mess up. Anyone who plays with Lightning Bolt in their deck more often than me would have known to check the deck count, the actual devotion, which I blew it on. Okay, next one's coming. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. Here we are again, with a hand that is aggressively mediocre. I'm going to learn from my previous mistakes and mulligan to a hand that has a real plan. Okay. Rewarded with this, I think I bottom Grindstone, let Urza Saga do that work, keep all my lands, the tutor, and the 2 painters. Yeah, I'll keep this and send Grindstone. And the alternative is the turn 1 Grindstone, turn 2 painter, turn 3 win line, which I guess Urza Saga still facilitates. Alright, yeah, I'm going to bottom Grindstone. Opponent's also on a mull of 6. Misty Rainforest. Okay, we've got some Death Shadow with Delver. This is bad because they are a Wasteland deck, but I did keep all my mana sources, and I even have an extra one. That's cool. I'm just going to play Saga and get the clock ticking on this Grindstone. And this is a matchup where I painted black so they can't snuff me out. Delver didn't flip, which means they may have just drawn Wasteland. Another Delver. I hate Magic. Hate it so much. Well, now my Grindstone's gone. And I have no real plan in this game. A basic mountain. Look who showed up. I don't think I can just hurl Goblin Engineer onto this stack into Daze and X for wanting myself by pitching Spirit Guide to do it. Double Delver potentially flipping is a nightmare. Okay, they missed on the first one and did not cantrip or anything for the second one. Okay, now I can play Goblin Engineer for Grindstone, and it's around Daze. Oh, now I can just do it face up around Daze, but I think I'd rather do it. I'd rather hide it. Like if they Daze this and I pitch Spirit Guide, that's a big deal. I suspect they just drew that Street Wraith, or else they would have cycled it in between the Delver flips. Put Grindstone into the graveyard. Begin my movement in the direction of combo. Unfortunately, I have the wrong order here. If you shove Grindstone into play, activate it, then flip it into Painter, you win. If you shove Painter into play, flip it into Grindstone, you don't win. I do have Great Furnace in play, though. Doing better on artifacts than I have in previous rounds. They're fetching Death Shadow. Alright, the 1/1 army. Don't snuff me out. Okay. No attacks, army of 1/1s. How do I do this? I can play Painter, paint everything black, flip Great Furnace into Grindstone, City of Traders, Painter, paint it black. And I'm 1 mana short from killing them right now. I can put a backup Painter into play because I have Spirit Guide that can flip Grindstone. Painter, paint it black. Okay, I'm gonna pass the turn here and hope I'm not dead to a flurry of removal. Thoughtseize does represent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage on this board. Okay, Thoughtseize, I'm gonna exile Spirit Guide, and then Thoughtseize resolves. Before we switch phases, weld Grindstone, Great Furnace into Grindstone, and Wasteland, Jesus Christ. I'm going to die to that. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I go to 5 here. They cycle Street Wraith, I go to 1. I guess that doesn't matter. I just need to draw Lotus Petal regardless. That fucking Wasteland. I guess I could have hid my City of Traders. Was that a line? I'm just dead here. Yeah, there's nothing for me right now. Wow. Did I mess that up? Was the second Painter too much? Was I supposed to hold back City of Traders and just hide my burst of mana? I think so. Like, I cannot be salty about great draws and tight games if I did not do everything right. I'm learning a lot in this league. And it hurts. It hurts so bad. Okay, Pithing Needle on Wasteland seems relevant. Magus of the Moon. Not sure if I'm supposed to go down this road because they might have one basic island, but in general, Magus will turn off all their spells. And they can't snuff out Magus because they won't have any swamps. Thorn of Amethyst is also live. This is a thing that I can do on turn 1 that just shuts down half their deck. I could also go more Furies. There's so much going on right now. I need all my mana. I like my combo pieces. Lightning Bolt might be medium. That kills Delver, but it's never going to kill a Shadow. And I have 7 other ways to kill Delver. I think I'm going to try the Moons on the play. They're less good on the draw. I'm going to rock like this, though. Important lesson learned. Hide your mana capabilities against the Wasteland deck if you don't need to shove. Here I am against a Wasteland deck. I am going to try this, though. This is an accelerated Saga with Mox Opal's assistance. If they turn 1 Wasteland me, I'll just play Painter on turn 2. And my Moon Magus will kill my Saga anyway. I drop that, and I'll put Mox Opal in. They are a Thoughtseize deck. If they Thougtseize me, it means I'm not getting Wastelanded. If they waste me, just keep moving forward. 1 foot in front of the other. I'm not getting wasted. That's good news. Delver of Secrets. Okay. Saga ticks up. City of Traders. I just shove Painter here and present a win next turn. I think this is how I have to play this game. Painter names black. If it resolves. Which it did not. And then that messes up my plans for Mox Opal. They wasteland my City of Traders. Now I'm in trouble. Brainstorm to flip Delver. Get an aggro on that one. Assume this Delver's going to flip. Revealing Ponder. Okay. Okay, not a wasteland. Take my beats here. Not shuffle with Ponder. I'm going to have decisions to make. Drew basic Mountain. I can... what here? Make a construct. Tutor a thing. If I play the mountain, I lose the city. And I get Magus down now. I think I have to make a construct. Grindstone presents the win with Painter. Lotus Petal can play Magus the Moon now, but it plays into Daze at massive cost to myself. I lose my land, my petal, I lose everything. I just grab a Grindstone, cast Painter, and hope I'm still alive. That plays into Daze too. Oh my god, I wish this was Ancient Tomb so bad. Okay, I'm grabbing the Grindstone. And I think I have to chuck my city. We're learning why Magus of the Moon isn't good here, by the way. Magus of the Moon. And I'll play Goblin Engineer, try to draw out the counterspell. They've already forced once this game. Daze on this isn't the worst. I think I want Breya's Apprentice in the mix here. That can stabilize the board. Okay. Snuff out immediately. That doesn't mean they don't have a counterspell. It means they didn't need to use it. Magus or Painter both would have turned off Snuff out. That's a Murktide Regent. And go to 14. The next attack puts me to 4. Okay, so I need to get Painter into play and then find a mana source to activate it. Cycling a bunch of Wraiths. Are they going to go land Shadow right now? Wasteland, okay. I mean, that still sucks. But I don't have to play a land. Okay, I can just kill Murktide Regent here. That's got to be the play. Kill Murktide. There's a pause. I wonder if they're thinking about going Force Blue card and just trying to push for the game to be over. I mean, that's Snuff out in response. All right. I'm going to float red. But that does suck. Because now I have nothing going on and my Opal's off. Took a lot of pressure off there, and they're at 2. I boarded out all my lightning bolts. Oh my god. Maybe just letting them kill themselves and bolting them is part of this game plan. I'd love to draw a basic mountain here. Oh no. 12-12 or 11-11. I did draw a basic mountain, but as usual, I'm a step behind. Guess I just play Painter to chump block. Paint everything black. Opal's on, but it doesn't matter. What do I even do here? I just die. Everything I play, I have to chump block and then lose. While Delver pushes for damage around it. Guess if I play Fable, okay. Well, this league is not going well. I am learning a lot, but also feel like I'm just getting my teeth kicked in. And some of it is my fault, and some of it, I definitely feel like my opponents have simply had better cards than me, which is not something I say often on the channel. I'm spending a lot more time in the retrospective in this league because of how hard I'm getting my ass kicked. I don't believe I've won a game. Like we're 0-4, 0-8, right? Yes. Not a single game won. Sequencing my lands was a problem in that game 1. So that one I don't remember exactly the situation, but I'm pretty sure I could have played that turn the same way without presenting the City of Traders. I had the Spirit Guide that could have done stuff. Did they need exactly Thoughtseize plus Wasteland to clear the Spirit Guide, or was I going to do that anyway? I don't really remember the exact situation. You all are watching the video. Go ahead, rewind it. I'll probably rewatch this one later. Yeah, not counting the library against Doomsday and then not hiding my Soul Land from Wasteland against Death Shadow were two mistakes I've made. I don't know. This one's going to haunt me. We got a final round, though. Let's try to dodge 05. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop, and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. I'm on the play for this final round. Dodging 05 is the goal. Normally when I say that, it's because I'm on some wonky brew that doesn't make any sense, but I'm playing literally a tier 1 deck, and I've not won a game. I finally have something that resembles a coherent hand. And that's not fair. I have been learning how to mulligan. I have presented wins that got stuffed. I have presented walls of stabilizing spells that ended up just getting outclassed as I didn't capitalize in the mid game. But this one, I just get to shove things onto the stack until I'm blue in the face. Oh, are we getting dumpstered by Reanimator? Come on. Why would you do this to me? Okay, I can play Brea's Apprentice and then next turn Goblin Engineer and immediately flip Brea's Apprentice into whatever I tutor for. Okay, I'm gonna cast Apprentice. If I get Entomb Reanimated, whatever. If I get Stormed Out, whatever. This hand does not stop any of those things from happening. I'm not gonna attack because if Archon of Cruelty comes into play this turn, I can sack Brea's Apprentice and flip Thopter back into Brea's Apprentice and start with more resources. Okay, I didn't get Entombed. They went to their turn. Arrakis. Oh, what? Oh, this is Black-White Initiative? Is that what's going on? Woe Strider. Alright. 04 bracket. Help me out here. I need this. We're playing against a Woe Strider in Legacy, a card that I enjoy in EDH and was a player in Standard, but I've never seen in my life in this format, which is saying a lot because I do a lot of weird stuff. Okay. I think I need to play the Mountain this turn. That leaves up Lightning Bolt and Red Blast, whereas Urza Saga does not do that. I'm gonna attack with the attackers that I have. Lightning Bolt, Woe Strider before blocks. Should have done that pre-combat. But if they force to will me, I have Red Blast. Okay, they're gonna scry with their goat in response. I believe Woe Strider is other creatures. Yes, okay, they can't scry off themselves, and they top the card that they scried. Second main, I'm gonna play Goblin Engineer. And I get whatever I want here, and it can come straight into play. The question is, do I want to get something like Dragon Engine and start shredding? Do I want Painter and start assembling my combo? Do I want Soul Guide Lantern in case they are actually Reanimator? What do I think a Woe Strider deck in Legacy is going to do to me? I genuinely can't even imagine. I'm going to get Painter's Servant. That moves me in the direction of my combo, and I'm holding Red Blast for whatever they're up to. Phyrexian Tower. Elite Spellbinder. Okay, that can kick the Red Blast out of my hand. Yeah, I think this is some kind of Black-White Initiative deck. I'm not sure why Woe Strider's in it. That has yet to reveal itself. I'm going to weld Brea's Apprentice into Painter. And I'm going to paint it blue. Lightning Bolt. Okay, that kills Elite Spellbinder, if I'm worried about that. I don't think I am, though. I have a wall of 1/1 blockers. I'm going to attack with this Thopter. And then turn Thopter into Brea's Apprentice. I think I can just chill here, because I have Red Blast available now. I've got engines online. I don't have an artifact in my graveyard because I sacked a token on the second time through. I can Lightning Bolt and Red Blast this turn. They suddenly have 6 mana. What are you going to do with it? This is starting to look like a Rector strategy. Almost certainly. I'm going to let them have Recruiter. See if they tutor up a Rector. Opposition Agent. Okay, that one's pretty good. They don't know about my Lightning Bolt. But they can see the Red Blast face up, so they know that I have removal. Saga ticks up. And Ray's Apprentice can sacrifice herself. That's cool. So I can sack her to exile my top card and play it this turn. I'm going to do that. Sack her to her own ability. Get her in the bin. Exile a Lotus Petal. Sure. I've seen worse cards than that one in my life. Get this bonus Welder into play. And Grindstone's popping out next turn. I have Red Blast and Bolt that can clear the Oppo. There's Opposition Agent. That's fine. Resolves. They need 2 oppositions and a protection spell out of their Oppo in play and 3 cards in hand. Yikes. Okay. So I'm going to have to Red Blast this. Counter target blue spell. This is going to cost me 3 to do. They probably imagined that was good because it cleared the removal spell. I have another one. If it works. I'm going to flip Thopter into Ray's Apprentice. In the end step, give myself some more fuel for the fire. Draw for turn. It's a Saga. Lightning Bolt Oppo right now, and one of us is dead. Well, that's not true. If they protect this or whatever, then I'm still way ahead on board. They just don't die immediately. Oh wait, I do die immediately because they can play and activate my Grindstone. But I can weld my Painter away. Okay, yeah, I was still way ahead in that game, even if they had some kind of protection spell. Okay, so Rectors trigger from the graveyard. They appear to be some sort of black-white turbo Rector deck with Opposition Agent. Very Macabres I'm interested in. Lightning Bolts I like. Soul Guide Lantern I like. Probably chill on the Red Blast a little bit because they're not naturally a blue deck. Still leave some in because it did matter. Painter Servant's still my plan. And between the 3 Macabres and Soul Guide Lantern, I think that's enough graveyard hate. I don't want to flood out on it. I flooded out on it in the mirror earlier. That was really bad when I just needed spells to play. Yeah, I'm going with this. Okay, I've got some Disruption and a Macabre. The bad news is that Elite Spellbinder is a nightmare against Macabre. Maybe I should be playing Surgical just for that reason. Saga, get in there. We're on a Saga start. Yeah, because if Elite Spellbinder kicks Fairy Macabre out of my hand, even if I pay 2, I can only cast a 2/2 flying. I never get graveyard hate out of it. Lotus Petal. Looks like this is happening. Warren of the Third Path, that's so much worse than everything I've ever imagined in my life. Okay, well, I have a target for Lightning Bolt. And we've seen Caracas in their list, so they do have a pretty mean little lock that they can get going if I let them. I'm zapping this thing before Phyrexian Tower gets online. Or Caracas. If I am able to drag them into the mud and just play a fair creature game, Fury's really good in that world. Anointed Peacekeeper, okay. You get to look at my hand. So they know about the Macabre now. And they can see the Fury and know that I don't have any red cards to pitch. Did name Fury. My secrets are out. That's a good one. Alright, slam Goblin Welder, or Engineer right now while the getting's good. I would like... Is it Ray's Apprentice? I think it is. Or is it Painter? God, just going for Painter is such a skill gap for me. Am I supposed to be moving towards this at all times or trying to get some value going? I'm a sucker for value. Ray's Apprentice is in my graveyard now. I have no artifacts, so currently my opponent's not worried about that. And they have this big 3/3 Vig damage coming in. Oh no. Well, Macabre is out of here. And there's no reason to exile stuff from their graveyard in response. Like, I don't even care if it's a use it or lose it, because if they kick Fury out of my hand, then it costs 9. Oh wow, they did that anyway. Cool. We got a deal. Artifact? Ugh. 2 deck. Once again, hanging out with a welder and a great target for it with no artifacts to sacrifice. Well, this one is use it or lose it, so might as well get rid of Lauren and Lotus Petal. I'm not paying black 3 for a 2/2 at any point in this game. Okay, any red card gives me Evoked Fury from exile. Any artifact gives me Breya's Apprentice in play, but I don't have infinite time to figure this out. How about an artifact? Oh my god. This is none of the things I asked for, but it is a good card. Taking 9 going to 2 next turn. Cool. They know my hand, so I can just F6. Taking 9. Urza Saga, if it ticks up, at least, represents an artifact. Fruiter of the Guard. What are we doing with this? Arena Rector. They haven't hit a land drop in several turns. Oh look, there's my artifact I asked for 100 years ago. I'm just dead, right? I'm at 2, and they have 3 attackers. Yeah, I can make 2 blockers. Or, no, I can make... Okay, the artifact actually is good. Because now I can make the blocker and put Breya's Apprentice into play. Okay. Oh wait, no, 2 of these things fly. I'm dead. Okay, that was misery. Okay, so the Elite Spellbinders make me more interested in Surgical than Macabre, just so I have a snowball's chance in hell of ever doing anything if I get kicked. Magus of the Moon is tempting. They did have a ton of non-basic lands in the mix, and it seems like several of their sack outlets are non-basic lands as well, but they also, we saw basics and Lotus Petal. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm just switching the Macabres into Surgicals. On the play, the Welder, meaningful interaction for their graveyard, artifacts that I can loop. Come on, deck. This is the time to not be a dick. I'm going to play Goblin Welder. I guess I'll run out Lotus Petal. Really hope they can't turn 1. I guess it doesn't matter because I have Surgical. I was about to say I hope they don't have some way to turn 1 there, Rector, but it doesn't actually matter. What's the 1 drop, or the 1 mana play? Oh no! Why? Why? Okay. If I draw a Lotus Petal, I can just cast Fury and probably win this game on the back of it. Okay, this Goblin doesn't care for your shenanigans the way that the first one did. Goblin Engineer, get in. And Dragon Engine can start grinding. Once again, I ask myself if I should be playing Dragon Engine or Breya's Apprentice. And I still think it's Apprentice, because I like the Fury and the Surgical. And I can play Soul Guide Lantern here. So I'm not worried about getting Rectored. I'm 1 mana source of any variety away from casting Fury. Spellbinder, I'm glad this is Surgical and not Macabre, but they're definitely kicking Fury out of here because it rasts their whole board. Fury's on layaway. They get to attack for 2 here. Breya's Apprentice is an Artificer as well. They know what they're doing with their Plague Engineer. And I should probably Welder now. Flip Lotus Petal into Apprentice. This just gives them 1 fewer draw steps and no mana to interact with that play that I do need to make. And with Surgical in my hand, maybe I should be popping Soul Guide Lantern for a card sooner than later. Do they even attack? I have really good blocks. I could trade my free Thopter for their 3/1 or double block Plague Engineer. Okay, no attacks. I like it. Wall Therapy. Well, I mean, they know what's in my hand. Do I want to pay 2 life to know what's in their hand is the question. I think I do. I'll target your Marsh Flats. And unfortunately, I have to pay 2 life to do this. And unfortunately, they already made their land drop for the turn. Double Oppo is the hand. I'm glad I know about that. Do I even want to take Marsh Flats out of their deck? Gaia's Blessing? That's important to know. Okay. Important information is being gained here. We've got some big, stupid, unbeatable Planeswalkers. I'm not taking the Marsh Flats out of their deck. I will leave those bad draws for them to draw them. Pickle Bolas, Kaya, and I can't grind this opponent unless I have Graveyard Hate ready. Okay, leave everything where it is. And we're main phasing Oppo here. That do. Alright, that's fine. I am going to draw a card with Soul Guide Lantern here. I would like to clear some of these creatures off the battlefield if I can. Did draw a red card to do that. So Oppo's coming back anyway. Could just play Dragon Engine and have a 2/2. A lot of terrifying text on it. I'm not actually worried about any of these creatures on their surface right now. Yeah, I'm just casting. It is Dragon Engine better than Fable. Treasures could matter a lot. And dumping Dragon Engine is pretty sick. Alright, Fable it is. This is my red card for Fury. But I think this is worth doing. And I can weld into Soul Guide Lantern if I need to interact with their graveyard. Just gonna pass the turn. If they find a Rector, I'm covered. They are top decking. I know their card is Oppo Agent. And Fable discarding Phyrexian Dragon Engine, where I can start going nuts. Nice. Still don't really have good attacks. And they agree with that assessment. End of turn, I'm gonna weld Soul Guide Lantern out of Brea's Apprentice. Exile your Cabal Therapy. We don't need to think about that this game. I think I just discard both of these. Great Furnace is nice, but I think just having fresh cards, fresh options. I'm discarding my whole hand anyway when I Dragon Engine. So yes, definitely Engine, and maybe Great Furnace is good actually. Additional artifact, a land drop. Alright, I'm just going to do the Dragon Engine. Alright, I got Urza Saga anyway, which, until I deal with the Oppos, is not really where I want to be. I don't want to give them my powerful spells. And I can attack with my Goblin Shaman token. I do quite like the idea of trading with any one of these idiots and getting a treasure. This treasure plus the Urza Saga in my hand makes 7 mana for Fury next turn. We're almost there. Yeah, they are in the tank about this block. They are blocking with the 3/1. That makes sense. That is by far the worst creature in play right now. And from here, I'm going to pass the turn. Hold up my Graveyard Hate. I can Dragon Engine or Brea's Apprentice as I see fit. Dragon Engine shreds this board, though. They don't have the flyer anymore. Maybe I should just Dragon Engine while I know they don't have hate. If they come up with Containment Priest, that's real bad for me. I can Fury that next turn. I don't know. Let's just hope they don't have Containment Priest. We got a scoop! We're on the board! Okay. Dodge the 0-5. But in all seriousness, there's a lot going on here, and non-blue pseudo-prison combo decks are not really my wheelhouse. But that said, I'm not a slouch at Magic the Gathering, and I've played basically all decks in my life multiple times. And I identified the Lightning Bolt against Doomsday and the land sequencing versus Death Shadow as mistakes. But just getting obliterated across the first 4 rounds, there were 6 games where those 2 punts didn't happen, and I lost those games too. And I'm not gonna blame the deck because it's a known tier 1 quantity. I'm gonna try not to blame luck or variance or whatever you want to call it, because I think you lose more than you gain by writing that off. Sometimes they just have it and you lose, and that's Magic. But being analytical about the states, I believe for sure that it's more likely I was making mulligan errors in the early part of the league that I tightened up on in the second half. That's just getting familiar with the deck. And there's probably sequencing errors that I don't even know about. Like when I played my Urza Saga and as my first land and it got wasted, am I supposed to hang an Ancient Tomb out there because Urza Saga is more important? Or am I just supposed to swing for the fences at all times and hope they don't have Wasteland? I played many games where I had an active welder in play and no artifact to weld. Are you just supposed to mulligan hands that don't have access to artifacts? Or at what point do you trust your deck to deliver one at some point over a long, drawn-out game? That just didn't happen for me. This list I noticed does only have 2 Great Furnace, and it could play 4. I'm sure that's for a reason, like playing Meltdown is everywhere in the format. Null Rod effects are around. We got obliterated by a Lauren of the Third Path, killing our first land drop in this very league. Those are all the reasons why there's not 4 Great Furnace, but I also really struggled to have artifacts in play at certain points. And I lost the mirror match because their first land drop was an artifact and mine was not, and their construct was just bigger than mine. It was out of Fury range and it beat me in combat. Where if I had 5/5 constructs, I'm winning that game. So there's a lot of little stuff at the deck building level, which I made no decisions on. I just copied this from a recent challenge, top 8. I assume that the people working on this deck know more about it than I do, obviously. But when you're playing these non-blue decks with limited or conditional card selection, mulligans and sequencing are the 2 major decisions that you get to make. And I'm sure I was bleeding there a little bit. I'm glad we could salvage it at the end. And lessons learned. I don't consider losses wastes of time. I consider them learning opportunities. Sometimes at the end of a league, I give a deck the Thomas Edison Award of learning what doesn't work. For this league, I'm going to give myself the Thomas Edison Award of learning what hands you can't keep with this deck and to consider all of the available factors and outs. And it's more of solving a puzzle. Like, what could they draw to stop me here? Or what out could I play to stop them here, depending on who is presenting the win? Like, how do I stop them or how do I get stopped? And if I had been a little slower about asking myself those questions, I think there would have been at least 2 more game wins on the board. We still would have had game 3s in those matches, but worth considering. And as always, I'm open to constructive feedback in the comments. If you're going to be a mean weirdo, just don't. But if you're going to be a friendly Magic player who wants to talk about where things went awry, if you see something that I didn't, let me know. Ray, thanks for the invitation to play whatever I want. I ended up eating a big plate of humble pie as a result, but I'm glad I did. I will be playing Painter again when the Warhammer 40k cards come out. And if anybody asks me to play it before then, that's how this channel works. I play what people send me. So you will see Red Painter, hopefully Red Black Painter sooner than later on the channel. And these lessons will apply later down the road. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon, and I'll see you next time.